Record. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Right now it's 9:06 on a Wednesday morning, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to be talking to some guests. First, I want to mention the Astros did drop Game 1 of the World Series last night, but that's okay. There's going to be another game tonight, and there's always another opportunity for a win. So I'm going to get my guests introduced, and then I'm going to chat for a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and go on the FM. So I have Mr. Mike Dudas, and I got Tristan J. Pearson here in studio. Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all doing today?
Great. Thank you for inviting us.
I'm glad y'all are here.
Yeah.
I'm glad y'all are here, and we're going to be chatting about an organization, an alliance. It's a nonprofit that has been started, and we're going to be sharing all about that. And let's go ahead and go on the FM and get y'all reintroduced and knock this out. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this video, and let's spread some positivity today. It's all of our jobs. If we don't do it, who is?
That's right.
Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Right now, it's 9:07 on a Wednesday. I'm Gardy, and I got a couple guests. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we can get into exactly what they have going on. So, who do we got here today?
I am Mike Dudas. I am a teacher at Ball High School. I lead the audio-video production program at the school in Galveston, and I am so impressed with your operation. I mean, all the gadgets you're playing with. I mean, our students do this, and you need a couple more hands.
You know, I got two, but sometimes I have to use my toes. Or I just need some of those students, and we have one here today.
Exactly.
Tristan, how are you doing today? How old are you?
I'm doing great. I'm 18.
You're 18 years old, and you are a student at Ball High School.
Yes, correct.
And you're a part of the KHEA program?
Yes, sir.
What's that like?
Fun.
It's
Great.
a lot of fun?
It's a lot of fun.
What kind of stuff do y'all get to do and play with there?
We get to do the radio show like what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we do videoing the morning announcements.
Very cool. That is a program that's been going on for how long, Mr. Dudas?
I was brought to Ball High School 6 school years ago to start the program, so we're in our 6th year right now, and Tristan is correct. We do many things. We have a TV studio at Ball, so instead of the traditional morning announcements over the PA system, we do a pre-recorded video show called Good Morning Ball High, which kind of looks like Good Morning America, Today Show type thing, where you have an anchor in a living room set and they're reading off a teleprompter, and it's pretty slickly produced. I look back at the infancy 6 years ago, the way we started and the way we were at now. It's like, wow, kind of like those embarrassing baby pictures, you know. And then Tristan's part of the team, and so we do all kinds of features. And nowadays kids are it's all about video and sight and that type of thing. So we try and make it as fun to watch and as pleasing to watch. But our main mission is to get out the school message and the school announcements. So it's about a 5 to 6 minute show that we produce every single day. We pre-recorded, and there's a designated time that the teachers have to play it in the classroom the following day. And then in addition to that, we have a radio studio, kind of like the setup that you have here right now. And during the school day, there are live shows where different teams of students will just sit down and talk about whatever's on their mind.
Yeah, what does that do for the students? 6 years of having the KHEA program, doing things a little bit different, having a studio. What have you found? Have the students found, a new passion potentially?
It really has. For a lot of kids, gives them a good, fun reason to come to school every day. Looking forward to the class. I have all my students I see double block, meaning they're in my class 2 periods a day. And I think a lot of them, if they could be in my class all day long, they would.
Is that true?
Tristan knows
Tristan?
that.
Yes.
Tristan knows that. And also, I think Tristan will agree. This year, I kind of have a different phenomenon going on. I have so many girls that want to do
Exactly. A lot of girls.
Is that a good thing, Tristan? Doesn't
I guess
matter.
so. It doesn't matter.
It's always been the fearless boys, but the shy girls. No, I don't want to do it. Now it's just like something's clicked magically.
Yeah.
Now it's really become the cool thing to do. So it's part about building any program. And it's life lessons. You got to start out slow, get your core group together, stay with it, keep your passion. But now it's really nice. We have all these girls that want to do it too. So
yeah. Well, there's I feel like new careers that have been launched specifically on video, social media. A lot of the times people are like, well, where is media going? Do people watch, television, or do they access radio? Yes, they do, and then also technology as it shifts, I think it's important to kind of hit every outlet possible.
Right. This is in my 13th year of teaching, so I'm one of these that changed careers. 13 years ago, I did worked in human resources and personnel for about 17 years, and then one day woke up and said, I'm bored with what I'm doing. So I had to have this conversation with myself. Okay, if you want to change careers, what do you want to do? And so I was like, I've always wanted to get into education, enjoy working with kids. So cool. I just figured out how to make that happen. But when I first started, I was a speech teacher and I did debate, and then I swerved into this audio video production avenue. But when I first started, it was AV production was really kind of dying in schools. But look at the explosion of social media. Mm-hmm. That's really changed. Who would have thought newspapers would have video websites? That used to be the enemy. Newspapers, versus TV. The TV media. Now they're all joined together and that type of thing. So, with the explosion of social media, our program has really grown.
All right. So Tristan, you are the founder of a nonprofit organization. It's called the Gulf Coast Epilepsy Alliance, GCEA. What is that for? You have a history of having epileptic seizures. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
So how old were you whenever, I guess, all of that kind of came on?
I was 12 years old when it started, and it was 2013 when I started having epilepsy.
Yeah, and I guess
seizures.
there's a specific kind of seizures that you get, and then there's a way to treat it. Can you kind of help me, like what that is called and what the way to handle that situation is?
Okay. It's tonic-clonic or grand mal seizures, and you may assist a person having a tonic-clonic seizure by remaining calm, helping someone to the floor, removing obstacles from the area, turning him on his side, timing the seizure, and calling an ambulance if it lasts more than 5 timed minutes.
Okay. And you were about, you said 12 or 13 years old whenever you first had your first seizure. Okay. Having that, it seems like you went ahead and started going to work and started doing some stuff. You were working with the Epilepsy Foundation Texas.
Yes.
And then you were also in Boy Scouts.
Exactly, yes, sir.
Is that correct? So you started doing some stuff with, I think, some projects, and I heard a little bit about that project that you did to become an Eagle Scout, which is a big deal. You're an Eagle Scout right now.
Right.
How does that make you feel? That's a pretty big accomplishment.
It makes me feel like I'm honored to be an Eagle Scout, and it makes me feel really happy that I completed Boy Scouts.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And I think I heard a little bit about your project. It had to do with video, creation of video with young people.
Yes.
Can you help me out with that project?
Sure.
What was it?
Actually, it was a reenactment of something that happened in my classroom, and it happened with Tristan. Tristan came to Ball High last school year, at the beginning of the school year, and right at a couple weeks into the school year, at the end of the day, Tristan had a seizure in the classroom. Mm-hmm. So I was trained due to Tristan's proactive mom. Before school started, she gathered all his teachers together, and Tristan and his mom, they disclosed, his condition, and this is what you need to do if he, has a seizure, because he's prone to have a seizure at any time, unannounced, without warning. And so it happened in my classroom, and I guess lucky for all of us, since it was the first time, it was one of Tristan's mild seizures, but he can have some pretty doozies there where they can be up to 5 minutes, and EMS has to be called and what have you. So that's the unpredictability of epilepsy. So anyway, for his Eagle Scout project, we with Tristan, we gave him all the tools necessary, and he helped storyboard it and direct it in the classroom. We reenacted what happened, of course, with a actor in place of Tristan, but we used the exact same kids and that type of thing. So we did exactly it over, again over with. But then we had a voiceover if what to do, how to treat someone. They're on the floor having a seizure. This is what exactly you need to do. So it was an educational video that was produced.
And that was your Eagle Scout project.
Correct.
That's awesome. That is amazing. Congratulations on being an Eagle Scout as well. That's a big
Thank
deal.
you.
That's
Thank
a
you
very
very
big
much.
accomplishment. So you had a 5-year partnership with the Epilepsy Foundation Texas, and then you went on to start the Gulf Coast Epilepsy Alliance. It's also the GCEA. Can you kind of help me out? What is the vision of the GCEA?
GCEA's vision is to achieve a society where no person's life is limited by epilepsy.
And you've been handling, dealing with epilepsy for some years now.
Yes.
I feel like, with the help of family, your mom, and teachers, your life isn't limited because you've traveled all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And we were chatting about that a little bit before, even being in Saudi Arabia pretty recently. What is it
Yes.
like there?
It's really hot, let's just say that. And it's, let's say, small in a way.
Yeah.
And
Is
there's
the food any good? Because that's what I always think of.
certain types of food.
Yeah. Do they have, like authentic American cuisine, like the cheeseburger, and I don't even know what else is considered
Well,
American food.
Subway.
Subway.
Cheeseburger isn't their thing over there,
Yeah.
but they have some good foods and bad foods. Like some of the American foods that we have in Texas
Yeah.
are okay, I guess.
Ye-
Something like that.
Yeah, I got you. I guess it
Tristan-
just depends.
Tristan's told me the camels are mean and nasty, right?
Oh, yeah,
What?
they're very
Yeah.
stinky, too.
Do they spit? Because that's one thing I've seen, like, oh, it's a spitting camel. I don't know if that's a myth or not.
I do not know. That didn't happen to me.
Okay, I
and
got
I
you.
hope that will never happen.
All right, so the vision of the GCEA is to achieve a society where no person's life is limited by epilepsy. And I think one of the important things is just spreading awareness. Like you had already shared, Tristan, this is what you do if you see somebody who is having a seizure. Okay, so you'll also have a mission. Can you help me out? What is the mission of the GCEA?
Okay, the GCA's mission is committed to working for and meeting the needs of people with epilepsy, their families, and their caretakers in the Gulf Coast areas of Texas.
Mr. Dudas, how important is it to be, as a teacher, to work with parents and families and especially kids? Because I think some of the statistics that we saw here earlier, there's a lot of kids in our area that actually, Tristan, can you kind of help me out with some of those statistics as well?
Okay, statistics.
I think there's like a lot of kids, even in Texas, that handle this.
Okay, CDC epilepsy data and statistics. In 2015, 1.2% of the U.S. population had active epilepsy. This is about 3.4 million people with epilepsy nationwide, 3 million adults, and 470,000 children.
Mr. Dudas, how important is it to have, I guess that working relationship with parents?
It's very important, and to develop those relationships with a parent, where you can have open and honest conversations where parents will, feel comfortable disclosing a particular child's, condition. And it's a tribute. All this is really a tribute to Tristan's bravery. I know early on, his mom has told me a story. They were the typical family trying to deal with this monster condition, and should we disclose it? If we disclose it, will Tristan be held back for any reason,
Right.
or be at a disadvantage or whatever? So early on, I guess after overcoming those fears, they decided, heck no, we're going to be proactive. So they took the tail, they grabbed that tail of the lion and just decided, we're going to be proactive and what have you. And so then everything, of course, evolved into Tristan's foundation now, the Gulf Coast Epilepsy Alliance. So it's really a tribute to them because, some days I think if I was in Tristan's shoes, would I, want to be out and about telling my story, or just watching him daily, a lot of mornings is a struggle just getting up because he has the morning seizures, after his brain resting overnight and then everything, waking up and, firing up again, then, extreme nausea and mild seizures. So a lot of times he can't arrive to school until late just because he has to overcome all that. And then all of a sudden he's fine for the rest of the day. And then, start the new day again. So just what it takes, because a lot of us would say, no, I don't even want to go out of the house today. I don't feel well. So just to have that strength and perseverance to pull yourself together every day is a tribute.
Yeah. So I have this, this guide right here, and y'all have 6 strategic aims for, the alliance, for the Gulf Coast Epilepsy Alliance. The first one says it's providing support and information services, which I feel like we've already done some of that today. I've already learned a lot just having some conversation. The second one, communicating, raising awareness, and advocating about epilepsy and sudden unexpected death in epilepsy. The third one's providing training and education to save lives. Do you think that a lot of people just don't realize that it's that prevalent? Looking at the statistics, do you think a lot of people don't realize how, that they may already know somebody in their life that handles this?
I think people are always surprised to know the statistics about how many people are inflicted with epilepsy who have that condition. I think everyone knows someone who's had a seizure or is currently dealing with it, whether it's someone in your family, a next door neighbor, a cousin of a cousin, that type of thing. So, it's prevalent out there. And, one of the biggest things is education, knowing what to do if someone suddenly has a seizure, and then overcoming that fear of assisting that person.
And then, okay, so I'm looking at this list as well.
Right.
And it says undertaking and supporting epilepsy research to find a cure. So currently, is there a cure?
No.
There's no cure.
There's no cure.
And
they treat the symptoms, but there's no cure.
Okay.
It's kind of like the other conditions like MS or whatever, there's no cure, but they can treat the symptoms. But, right now there's no magic pill, no magic shot,
Okay, I got you. But I'm sure there's a lot of research and things going on.
And of course, as many people that have epilepsy, that's as many different ways how they perceive their way of life or their condition. Some people, unfortunately, Tristan, he's prone to a lot of seizures, but there can be other people that, quote unquote, have the condition of epilepsy, and they just may have occasional, maybe once a year or once a month or what have you. So it just, or zero too. So,
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so then this one is raising the necessary funds for the organization.
Right.
That's sometimes a challenge to do. How has the support been? I've seen, pictures of you with some of our political leaders in the area. You doing a lot of cool things. Has there been a lot of support to help keep the organization going, Tristan?
Yes, there has.
It seems like you've made some pretty cool friends. I even saw some pictures of you with some. I'm not sure if you have some of those available, and we can kind of maybe show those off. So who is this? Who are you with in this photo right now?
I have some of my support group that I have. They're my friends that have came to my support group, and I've tried to help them.
Yes.
Or
help each
them.
other. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
How important is support? And your mom, meeting her and talking to her, I feel like she's a big support to you so far. What is that like? Having your mom help with everything.
It makes me really happy.
Yeah.
Because it's actually kind of hard since I have epilepsy. I can't remember things after I have a seizure. So since I have my mom with me, she helps me go through the day so I can
just kind of recall everything that happened. Awesome. So that support group, there's a lot of people there that looks like they love and care, and that's great. And then I know you have some more photos. I think you had even
Mays Middleton.
Middleton, and he's been on KHEA before. Y'all even worked, I think, like having a law passed together. So Mays Middleton, has he been a big support? And there's a signature on that. Whose signature is that?
That's Mays Middle, I think.
Governor Abbott.
Governor Abbott.
Yeah.
Okay. And there was a law that was passed, and I'm trying to see if I can remember what it's called. I think it's called Sam's Law.
Yes.
And that was a law that was passed, and I think that is it Senator Larry Taylor and Mays Middleton, the governor. What is Sam's Law?
Sam's Law, basically, express version of it, it's requirement that all teachers, educational professionals should have a seizure training, know what to do. It's a very short training. Right now, I think it's somewhere around the first of the year. It's going to be an online training, so it's non-intrusive. It's not like teachers have to sit through a day-long training, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. So it's a requirement that that they need to know what to do in case of a seizure.
Yeah, and you as an educator, that's a training that was missing beforehand, but y'all are going to be. It's a requirement for the state of Texas now? Yes.
It was passed, and right now I think it's still going through the KHEA channels, what have you. So I think from last I heard, at the end of the year, the first of the year, it will be a requirement that districts are required to have their teachers and other people that touch students every single day that should have they should have that there. So we're really excited about that, and we were real lucky at Ball High School because we really feel like we were on the forefront of supporting and helping push through Sam's Law. Because when we had last school year, Tristan come to us, his mom was really proactive, and just kind of like one thing led to another, and then we were invited to go to Austin whenever they were they were there supporting and lobbying for support and pushing through. So we feel like a lot of the roots of Sam's Law started in Galveston, in our area, and victory.
Yes,
it shows grassroots can work.
Yes, it can. Hey, I have to ask this. This was a comment. Since Mr. Dudas, you are an educator at Ball High, and the comment says, "Didn't you win an award?" I think that someone saw you on Great Day Houston a couple years ago for it.
Yes. Yeah, that school year. Great Day Houston, the Deborah Duncan show. They just bursted in my classroom.
That's awesome.
So it was kind of funny because I didn't know I was nominated, so it was a surprise.
Yeah.
And usually when they were doing the award, it was sponsored by I think a furniture company in Houston. So anyway, so they gave a award monthly to teachers, and someone behind the scenes, of course, had to nominate or whatever. And so a lot of things were going on behind the scenes, and I was surprised the students kept it a secret. They
knew?
They knew a lot of the key ones, and I was like, boy, y'all can keep a secret. So usually it was supposed to be a live shot, but that particular week a group of us were going to the Magnet Schools of America National Conference. So the day that they wanted to come in live, they couldn't because I was going to be gone. So this was all going on behind the scenes. They said, okay, well, we'll just come do this pre-recorded. And they burst in the classroom and did it. There was a knock at the door, and all of a sudden there was a reporter with a microphone camera and kids laughing like, "Oh, we got you!" And the sweetest testimonials. I felt like I was at my funeral. It was looking from afar, and so that was 2 school years ago. So that was like one of those magical school years. Yeah, so that was Teacher of the Year. Then, kind of oddly enough, when I was going to the Magnet Schools of America conference that year, I was up for National Teacher of the Year. I had won within our local regions, 8-state region, Teacher of the Year. And so it was kind of like one of those magical years. Everything you touched was gold, turned gold. So
how long have you been teaching again?
I'm in my 13th year.
I feel like, were there teachers that were mad? They're like, I've been teaching for 40 years and I've never got Teacher of the Year.
No, I've never really felt that. Sadly,
at least they didn't tell you if that was the case.
Exactly. Yeah,
I got you.
But it's just a lot of hard work and never giving up. And Tristan knows it's crazy working around with kids, and you see craziness going on. And
Yep.
Yeah. But my key to success is just building relationships with the kids. And I've learned along the way is you got to push kids, but there's that fine line. It's like how hard you can push because they'll push back. So, I have to push them to get them to the finish line, get them to produce. But then there's that line where, okay, we're at that line. They're starting to push back and some days they can probably do a lot more than, they're producing, but we've reached that line that day.
Yeah. Also, Tristan, and you can help me if this is correct, but I feel like that class is probably one of the more fun classes.
It is.
So the kids, y'all probably can have a good time in there.
Right.
I like to tell the story about how Tristan and I first met. It's kind of like one thing led to another, and it's kind of like it's really weird. It's like this was meant to happen. We have an online radio station at Ball High School. It's called KTOR the Tornado. So it's K-TOR. So you can go on Facebook and find us or KTORthetornado.com. So it's an online 24/7 streaming station. So when we first went on this air 3 school years ago, we had a show called Tornado Spotlight, and we still kind of do a version of that right now. So my first interview was this lady who is the development director of the Epilepsy Foundation in Houston. And I didn't even know there was a Tristan Pearson even existed or whatever. He wasn't even on my radar. So I picked her because the previous school that I was at before I came to Ball, she was like a go-getter parent. And I just remembered she was the development director of the Epilepsy Foundation. I said, that'd be a good, cool guest for the first guest. So she came to the school one day, and when she walked in the studio, she brought Tristan Pearson and his mom with her. So Tristan was able to kind of give a testimonial, and so we became instant friends. So that's how we met, through her. And so we stayed in touch, and then Tristan was at another school at that time. So I said, he's welcome to come back anytime. He can come in after school. His mom was working full time at that time. So I said, yeah, he can come hang out here, just until you get off from work. So we further bonded. And so he, got to know all the kids and what have you. And then it kind of led into, as we were leaving school one day after one of his visits, we were saying, it'd be kind of neat if he could just come to Ball High and just do special situation, what have you. We didn't know if that could be possible, if they could cater a schedule, because he has special needs and sometimes has to miss his school on extended amounts of time. So when we were walking out, lo and behold, there was the principal with us, and he got to know Tristan in his face because he would see him around. And so we said, it'd be kind of neat if we could work out where Tristan Pearson could come to Ball High. And he goes, we'll work it out. So last school year was his first school year. So as you can see, kind of like one thing led to another, and it was just meant to be. And then with them starting, Tristan and his mom starting this foundation, they had to have a initial board of directors. So I said, I'll be on it. And lo and behold, the first board meeting, before the board meeting, Tristan asked me if I would be president of the organization. So guess who's president of the organization? So it's like, our bond and friendship just gets deeper and deeper every day. But it's kind of like one of those things that just started with their mutual friend, Shannon Robbins, bringing Tristan to Ball High, and it was kind of meant to be.
All right. Who are the other directors on the board?
The other directors are so it's Mike Dudas with a bunch of ladies. It's always that way. So Rachel Hale, Carrie King, Charlene Lozano, and then there's Mickey Nashke, who's an advisor, what have you, and a good worker too. So we have a small board now. So we had our first board meeting and elected officers and just kind of reaffirmed our goals and vision. And Tristan's mom, of course, serves as the executive director, and she's worked tirelessly behind the scenes, making sure that we have bylaws and that I have all the paperwork in to become a 501c3.
That's a lot of work. It's not easy to become a 501c3.
It's a full-time job, just someone doing that.
Yeah, I think that was it Elevated Neuro? Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, they're okay. So, they've been lucky enough along the way to have some really good friends to uh, donate their services and be advisors and what have you. So, one of them, their legal advisor is Seth Cortigan. He's an attorney at law in Galveston. So, putting this type of things together, you need legal advice. You don't know where to turn, what have you. So they've been real lucky with that. And then there's for financial services to giving, like how do we put this together, make sure we maintain everything tax-wise, legal-wise, money-wise. And that's through Thomas Faust, and he is with the Elevated Neuro.
Elevated Neuro.
Yeah. So that our financial services are provided through them. And if you'll give me a second, I'll further describe that, which was message to me because I want to make sure that I'm reading it. So
yeah, it says that he's with Elevated Neuro, provided by Elevated Neuro, and this is AHCPA firm.
Exactly.
Cool.
And so they sent us a message, just kind of a plug for them because we couldn't do it without all these friends.
Yeah.
'Cause when you're starting a nonprofit, you need as much help in legal advice, financial advice, and assuring that it's worthy advice. Of course, money doesn't grow on trees, so what have you. So anyway, so
if you find the tree, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go get it.
So Elevated Neuro story includes for all your EEG needs. Elevated Neuro is an in-home EEG testing company that caters to people of all age groups. Their staff of board-certified professionals is compassionate and knowledgeable, catering to those living specifically with epilepsy. And have your test recorded in the comfort of your home. And if you'd like further information about Elevated Neuro, go to their website, elevatedneuro.com, or you can call them at 855-326-3876.
Awesome. Hey, Tristan, can you help me out? I know there's a couple ways that they can get a hold of you and the organization. You can maybe let me know, what is the website for the Gulf Coast Epilepsy Alliance?
The website is gceatx.org, and the social media on Facebook, search for Gulf Coast Epilepsy Alliance. And dedicated, the phone line and texting is 409-299-5559.
I love that y'all have a text number. It's just the way people communicate now. A lot of times, especially whenever it's a business, it's just like, man, we'll have a quick question. Can I donate, or is this going, in the right area?
Right.
Just something specific, just to ask. You can shoot a quick text or even message on social media. That's so important. It's so important to be able to communicate the way people communicate now. So, all right. So make sure you give them a call or a text, 409-299-5559. And then on social media, the Gulf Coast Epilepsy Alliance, you can give them a like on Facebook, maybe share out their page and show that you support, and you can help spread awareness and some positivity, in our area. There was an event, I think, for Independence Village, which is right down the street, and I know the director and that organization as well. And I heard a little bit of a story about a gentleman named Sean Bailey with Amico Federal Credit Union. Can you share, what happened at that event? I think did you have a seizure and he was there? I was talking to your mom about that a little bit.
Yes.
And, maybe it's not fair for me to ask that because you also shared with me that, whenever you have something like that happen, you don't recall and you don't remember. Mr. Dudas, is that something that you recall, or have you heard that story?
Okay, I wasn't there, but there was a big event, kind of a gala type event, and Tristan was up on stage, around the stage, or just around the front area, front and center, and as luck would have it, Mom was in the restroom.
Yeah.
Things happen, and so as luck would have it, he fell to a seizure, went down, and so caused all the commotion, what have you, to make sure Tristan's getting what he needs safely or whatever. So all these folks that were there were witness to Tristan having a seizure. And of course, as luck would have it, it wasn't one of Tristan's mild seizures. It was one of his real bad seizures. So all the related drama went along with it, and paramedics and assistants and what have you, and just getting the assistance that we need. But happily, everything turned out well or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was Sean Bailey
Yes.
who was familiar
Yes.
with how to handle those
Yeah.
situations,
Yeah.
came and kind of was aware of what was going on, and you read through that card earlier.
Yes.
And can you read through that card again? Like, what do you do? Because a lot of people don't know. What do you do if you're in a situation like that? How do you handle that situation?
Okay, you remaining calm, help her or him to the floor, removing obstacles from the area, turning him on his side, timing the seizure, and calling an ambulance if it lasts more than 5 timed minutes.
Okay, and that's what you do.
That's a tonic-clonic or grand mal seizure.
Yeah, like when Tristan went down with a seizure in our classroom, first thing we did is make sure, clear the area. Because, when someone's having a seizure and they're moving around the ground, worst thing can happen is having them bang into furniture or
Hitting the ground.
hitting the ground, or a lot of times they're already on the ground, but what if they're outside? And I know Tristan's experienced this through his lifespan of all this, falling down the ground, and it could be a gravelly area or whatever. So got to make sure that secure the area there, clear the area, and then most importantly, turn him on his side, because you're prone to throwing up, and you don't want to have your head cocked back, and then you're throwing up, and you're choking, right?
Yeah.
So you got to do that, and sometimes Tristan will be extremely nauseated and will throw up during a seizure, which is normal, and sometimes he won't, but you need to make sure to keep that airway open too, so that's the best way. And of course, there's always the myth, like you're supposed to have them bite down on something or pry their mouth open or whatever. Well, if you do that, you may lose a finger or whatever. Don't stick anything down their throat or what have you. It's just turn them on their side and just do your best.
Also, they can't swallow their tongue.
Right.
It's not possible.
Yeah, that's
all those
something
urban
you hear.
legends. Yeah, exactly. You always hear that, or
It's
you gotta
an
have
old
them bite on
wives' tale.
something. Yeah.
I always wonder where those things come from. It's just like, well, they say, and it's just like,
Yeah.
who made that up, or like what happened? I don't know. Hey, I see a pin over there, and it says something about November, and it's purple. Can you share what that says?
It says November is Epilepsy Awareness Month.
And November is coming up. I was talking to Tristan earlier about. He asked me. He said, "Hey, how long have you been doing this?" And I was thinking about it. I said, "I think I've been doing KHEA radio pretty much every morning for about 2 years. It's about to be 2 years."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Wow." And I was like, "Wow, it's a long time, but it's not a long time." And it flew by. I said, even this year, it's already almost November, and we definitely wanted to talk about that. And I'm glad that you guys are here and we can share about awareness and the organization KHEA November. And I see the color purple on everything. Is that like the color that represents
Yes.
epilepsy?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw some people putting some hearts. And
And
some
that's
other
one of the
things.
main colors of Ball High too. So when he came to Ball High, it was like
Works out.
Hand in hand.
purple and gold is our color, but you see purple everywhere. One thing I wanted to just reiterate and just reemphasize, one of the main core values of our mission of the newly formed alliance is just providing that basic support. They have their monthly support group meetings, what have you, and Tristan and his mom just recently received a card in the mail, and this is they hear this time and time again, but I wanted to share this with you. It was a note from a couple of individuals who attended a recent support meeting. They said, thank both of y'all for your continuous support for epilepsy in the community. We appreciate you lending a helping hand at the benefits and being there for us. It's been a tough year, but with all this love and support, we have the strength to keep fighting.
Wow.
So that just kind of says it all. You're not alone. There's others that are living with this condition, have been living with this condition a lot longer than you, so we can help you through the darkness, and we've been through it, so we can help you through the obstacles and show you the right way.
You mentioned the monthly support meeting. When and where are those, and who's invited?
Everyone's invited, whether it's, you're the actual person with epilepsy, they're caregivers, family, friends, they're basically there for support. So their support group meetings are the second Thursdays of each month. for a couple hours in the evening from 6:30 to 8:30 at the Nestler Civic Center.
All right, that's in Texas City, right?
Yes, and they have guest speakers every every single month. So they're real creative, and then sometimes they have food and snacks and what have you. So their upcoming meetings in November, there will be their topic is service dogs.
Speaking of service dogs, I think we have a friend in studio. What's the name?
Boomer.
Boomer. And Boomer is your service dog. So we can actually pull a shot. If you're watching on Facebook, you're going to be able to get a shot of Boomer. And this is Boomer. If you're listening on 99.5 FM, then we can describe Boomer. What kind of dog is Boomer? Is he like a
He's like a Chihuahua?
Yeah, I think he's a
mix.
Chihuahua. All right. And so we got Boomer here. And what kind of I mean, he's a service dog, but what can he do? Like, how does he help?
So when when my mom's not around, he will. So if I have a seizure when my mom's not around, he alerts my mom, like barks or comes and tries to just barks or something to help my mom notice if I have a seizure.
Yeah, so let's say, mom is on the other side of the house and you're at home or in your room or in the bathroom. If something's going on, Boomer can alert the rest of the house.
Exactly.
Hey, there's an issue. You need to go check on this. That's pretty cool.
He can sense a smell or shaking when I'm hitting the ground or something, and that lets him know that he needs to bark.
Within seconds of the onset of a seizure. Like Tristan has no warning that it's going to happen, it just happens. So, but the dog's been trained, within seconds of it happening, to start barking or, the dog, can sense something's not going right and bark and alert Tristan's mom or whoever around him, like, you need to get over here and monitor the situation, see what's going on.
And it seems seconds make all the difference in a situation like that.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So that's the November topic for the support group meeting.
Right.
Service dogs, everything you want to know, need to know, and maybe Boomer will be there signing autographs.
Exactly.
All right. And then the December topic for the service meeting. What's going on in December?
Art therapy with paints. An artist will be there joining them and giving tips and ideas about the whole topic of art therapy.
What does that do? Like, as far as, if Tristan painted or like just observing art or?
Well, it's kind of like just learning, just kind of a release,
An outlet?
you want creative release, I'm not having a good day, so I'm going to paint a picture or, paint my feelings on, help release.
Is that something that you've tried, Tristan? Like painting or doing any kind of art?
Yes.
Yeah?
Kind of.
Yeah, I got you. I think it's important to try new things for everybody because you may find something that you're passionate about. And, like for you at KTOR, finding radio. So whenever you get in this situation, you're like, oh, I've done some stuff before.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Are you having fun right now?
Yes, I'm having a lot of fun.
Do you miss your friends at school? And I wish that they would have all came and hung out with us here in studio. It would have been a lot of fun.
Yes. Yep.
And then I was talking to your mom and Mr. Dudas. It would be cool to, if possible, to bring some of the students down here and just kind of show them what we have going on. There's a lot more that we have. So.
Be on one of your future morning shows, and you can just yuck it up with the kids. Just talk about what's going on in their life and
that'd be cool.
That type of thing. So that'll be fun.
Or I can sit back and relax and take a nap.
Yeah, we'll take over. We'll do a KTOR takeover.
And then I'll let them do everything, and I could just be like, a morning off. Here we go.
It's always to be good for them to deserve is like, there's more to anchoring a show than just sitting in front of a microphone with notes that the teacher gave you, right? I mean, look at your board. I mean, you're going back and forth on your iPad for the Sling Studio. We have a Sling Studio too. Yeah, it's fun, but it's the art of multitasking too, right?
How does that work for you, the Sling? Y'all like it?
Oh yeah, we've used it several times in several different settings, and we just purchased Padcaster too. I don't know if you've seen that too. It's
not yet.
It's kind of like a little portable TV studio. It's to you use your iPad and it mounts to a tripod and has a studio mic on it. And
That's cool.
so we were able to get a matching grant for that. So we've been using that too. The only little drawback on that is, and we're still trying to figure it out, okay, you record stuff on there, but it's not the easiest thing to get that recording out for editing. You have to send it through
on the Padcaster.
Yeah, you have to send it through a cloud or whatever because there's not a USB port on iPads or whatever.
Yeah.
So then you have to rely on the school Wi-Fi and that type of thing. And
yeah, with the Sling, right now we're recording on an SD card, but we've also used, an external hard drive, and that's, just pop it in, pop it out.
Exactly. That's the advantage of using Sling Studio.
Yeah, we store our graphics, our video. There's SD card's huge, and we have everything on there, so it's pretty neat.
But when you do an iPad, it stores it on there, so you have to have an iPad that then it's not a 16 gigabyte one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just purchased a personal one that's 128, so it has a lot more room on there. So we've been kind of using that, but then it's kind of like, okay, it's on here and stored. So how do we get it off?
You know what we did yesterday? This was our second time to do it. So Santa Fe and Texas City played volleyball last night, a district game. Santa Fe won, but we broadcasted it live using the Sling and I think 3 Blackmagic cinema cameras. We broadcasted the game to our Facebook Live. It got over 5,000 views.
Wow.
Yeah, just in the time that it was on. And so we did Lamarck and Sweeney last week, and so I think we're going to try and do some of that. That'd be an awesome project, for the kids to do if they're interested.
We've been in events where we were at a United Way event. It was like their end of the year celebration. They were celebrating partners and stuff. So we brought our Sling Studio, and our cameras were the kids' phones. Remember that, Tristan?
Yes.
So Tristan was one of the cameramen, and it worked beautifully because it's HD quality, and it's, you use anything through an app or whatever. So yeah, I know this is not a commercial for Sling Studio, but it's good.
If they want it to be, I'm gonna tag them. Call me.
Tag them. Yeah. Hey, we just talked for 5 minutes about Sling Studio. Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure that you check out the KHEA. We have about 5 minutes or so left, and we can touch on anything that we haven't touched on or that y'all want to reiterate, anything at all. Is there anything that we maybe haven't touched on that y'all would like to bring up?
It's just support.
I know what we didn't touch on.
Yeah.
The Chamber of Commerce in Galveston and the Texas City Lamarck Chamber, there's going to be ribbon cuttings.
Yes.
Because if I understand correctly, Tristan, your organization, the nonprofit, you're the youngest member of the chamber.
Yes, sir.
You've done a lot, and so that's really cool. So y'all are going to be having ribbon cuttings on Thursday, November 7th, at the chamber, I believe. A ribbon cutting for the organization in Galveston, and then the Texas City Lamarck is going to be Thursday, November 21st.
Correct.
You being the youngest member of the chamber has to be pretty big advantage. I feel like you can, teach. KHEA Radio is a member of the chamber, and I love being a member of the chamber. So congratulations on that. That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
That's pretty cool. So make sure that you, if you can attend those and you want to be involved, then you're welcome to attend.
Cool.
All right.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So the KHEA, Gulf Coast Epilepsy Alliance, we got Mr. Mike Dudas, and we have Tristan J. Pearson here sharing about this. If you want to get involved, again, there's a social media, Gulf Coast Epilepsy Alliance. You can go to gcatx.org, or you can give a call or text 409-299-5559. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
No, I think this has been a great opportunity, and we'll come back again. Like I said, we'll come back and bring some of Tristan's media friends and have
great.
a KTOR takedown.
I love it. I got help now.
Yeah.
Crystal came. She was working on some stuff. We're going to take a quick break.
Yeah, I saw him take a deep breath when he handed that iPad on.
Just handed it over.
Yeah, exactly.
This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Boom.
Boom.
Thank you all for hanging out.
This was fun.
Yeah.
Tristan did an awesome job.
You did great. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out. I'm glad that we made this happen. And your mom is awesome. And she, look at all the, Crystal, I was telling her, I said, this is the most organized that I've ever been about anything in my entire life.
This is his new template he wants done now, right? So
I'm going to need this every day.
Yeah.
I can't do it because I'm not that organized.
She goes, dream on.
Dream on.
I'm glad Mr. Dudas mentioned talking points. I'm
happy
to put it together.
You know what I usually do?
Live every day.
Wing it.
Wing it.
I wing it.
I've
Yeah.
heard that a lot.
You guys did a really great job. Really, really great job. I'm very, very happy, very pleased.
Tristan did an awesome job.
Is there anything else that, I mean, we're still on Facebook Live. Is there anything else that we didn't touch on?
Well, SAM's law requires school nurses, and so and then the 1 in 10 and the 1 in 26 statistics. He
Okay.
didn't get to the end of that.
I turned that mic on and I cranked it, and so they could hear you right now. Say it one more time.
So for statistics for epilepsy, 1 in 26 people in the United States will develop epilepsy, and about 1 out of 10 people may have a seizure during his or her lifetime. And then on SAM's law, I just want to re-emphasize that it requires all Texas public school personnel whose duties include regular contact with students to be trained in seizure recognition and seizure first aid. That's people who interact with children with epilepsy on a daily basis need to be trained to care for them if they have a seizure. And SAM's law ensures that Texas public schools are well equipped with the tools necessary to provide a safe and enriching environment. Training is provided free of charge to Texas public schools by the Epilepsy Foundation's 2 Texas affiliates, and the approved online training courses are expected to be available by December 1st of 2019.
All right. And that's going everywhere in the state of Texas, the ISDs.
Entire state of Texas. We have 50,000 children with epilepsy that are enrolled in Texas schools.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of kids.
And you had mentioned earlier that's not including private schools, charter schools.
At
That's just the
home,
public schools. They are
that's just-
homeschooled.
Yeah, that's just the public schools. 50,000.
So the numbers are higher,
Yes.
but that's the statistics that we currently have.
Correct.
So-
And I believe for Galveston County, the stats are much higher than what the CDC is reporting.
Okay.
And so we're in the process of meeting with all the schools and the school nurses and collecting that data.
How do you properly poll that from the hospitals and nurses and people like that?
Well, for us as a nonprofit organization, being that we work with all the schools, we meet with the school nurses and they give us an idea of how many students they have that they're working with
Okay.
that actively have epilepsy.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
Well, y'all are doing great things and have put a lot of work in. And Tristan, congratulations on everything you've accomplished thus far. I'll say you've at this point in your life, you've accomplished a lot more than, adults. A lot of people who live their entire life and aren't able to make it the impact that you have. So it's an honor to have you in today.
Tell about the proclamations you're working on.
Yes. So with November being, that's okay. With November being National Epilepsy Awareness Month, we're in contact with all of our Galveston County cities, and we're reaching out to each of the mayors. We've actually heard back from some of them, and we'll be hopefully presenting in front of City Council, and the city will put a proclamation together. We've done this before in the past, and so many of the cities will have a proclamation that recognizes November as National Epilepsy Awareness Month.
Awesome.
Yes, very excited about that.
Yeah.
It's a process we've done before, and so we're going to try it again.
All right. Cool. And y'all, that's all the mayors in the county that you had reached out to?
That is correct. So we've actually sent out many emails and had communications and correspondence and phone calls with each of the city secretaries and administrators, and so they're working with us to get that scheduled.
Mm-hmm. It's very good.
Very
good.
excited.
Very good.
Yes.
All right.
We're going to have a very busy month in November. We have the ribbon cuttings. We have the 2 restaurants, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned that. After the ribbon cutting, we're going to Salsa's all day long on November 7th. Salsa's is hosting a fundraiser for us. So at the end of the day, the profits, 15% of that will be donated to Tristan's GCEA, Gulf Coast Epilepsy Alliance. And then again on November 21st, when we do the ribbon cutting with Texas City Lamarck, when we finish there, we're going to go over to Beyond Burger. And so they are going to be hosting all day long on the 21st a fundraiser for GCEA as well.
All right. And Beyond Burger, I've been there pretty often. It's right down the street from that chamber right there.
It is.
And it's good
Tristan
stuff.
had his 16th birthday there. We had a big party at Beyond Burger for his 16th birthday.
That's cool.
We filled up the restaurant.
I love the astronaut. Like when you walk in, it's like pretty legit.
Yes. and there's some games and things, and so yeah, we love it.
All right. Well, thank you guys, and yeah, let me know if there's ever anything I can do or share. And definitely, I would love to have you or
Sure.
the students come back and even just talk about K-Tour.
Yeah.
Or talk about whatever.
Talk about kids these days.
Yeah. Kids.
That's my favorite phrase. And kids, I just go, kids these days. All the kids always just, they know I say that. I just shake my head. Kids these days. Right, Tristan? Always say,
Yes,
kids these days.
I agree too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I love it.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank
This
you.
was fun.
All right. all
So we had the Ball High homecoming parade in Galveston tonight.
right. Oh, that's
So
tonight,
it's
and you have
tonight.
a float
Yes.
Yeah.
and a banner.
Yes.
So we
Cool.
will be there. So, yeah, they're going to leave and finish the finishing touches on it, and then meet us in Galveston later.
All right. Cool. We'll have a good time at
And
the
the weather's
parade.
supposed to be nice. this
Yeah.
afternoon. And the big game is Friday night, which is supposed to be cold, rainy.
Who are they
windy.
playing?
Terry High School, which is I think from Fort Bend or I think that they're from Alvin.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. So
So-
hopefully, yeah, good luck to the tours
Yeah.
this weekend, and y'all have a good time.
Thank you.
Hey, if you're watching on Facebook, stay tuned for a bit. Me and Crystal are going to chat about some fun stuff coming up. Hey. Thank you for coming in. It was nice to meet you, Tristan.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
It was fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Boomer. We got Boomer. Boomer is leaving the studio as yeah, he is a Chihuahua. I think he said he's like a Chihuahua mix. What's up, Crystal?
What's up?
So what were you doing? You're doing some different stuff on Wednesdays now for the first part.
Yeah, on Wednesday mornings, me and Darian do chapel services over at Abundant Life Christian Center.
How has that been going so far?
Abundant Life Christian.
It's the second one,
School.
right?
Yeah, this is our second one. So far, it's been going good. The first one we did, we had like the entire school, so we had a lot more kids. This time, we just had 6th through 12th grade, so it was a smaller crowd, but
Yeah.
they were still pretty energetic, so it was good.
That's good. Hey, did you have a chance to watch any of the Astros game last night?
Yeah, I did. My brother's a little devastated.
A little devastated. Yeah, that was. You know what? They had fight. They dropped game 1 of the World Series, but it's just one game. It's a 7-game series. First team to win 4.
Yeah, so I mean, we still got time.
We got time,
We'll come back.
and that's what happened, I guess, against the Yankees. They dropped one of the home games, and as we saw, that was the one game that they lost the entire series.
Well, and you know what? I found out yesterday that my dad bought tickets to one of the World Series games, and he's not taking me.
Is he taking your
So-
brother?
Yeah, he's taking my brother and my
Is that it?
grandpa and my sister, and not me.
Hey, welcome to my life. Remember? Wait, your sister's going?
Yeah. my
Okay,
sister-
no. That's where I draw the line, because it was
See?
like, okay, Dad, your brother,
Yeah, boys club.
Grandpa, and your dad. It's just like, oh, it's just the boys. But then it's like, Hannah's going?
Yep.
No.
Well, it's a Wednesday game, so I have to be here at church.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, you couldn't have picked a game.
So
that's-
today? There's one today? Like,
It's not today.
okay.
It's a different one.
I
I'm
got
not
you.
Sure, I'm not sure which one it is, but I know.
I'm going to tag him. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes that it won't let you tag, like, unless it's a business. But let me know. No, not Orlando. Narvez. I don't know. What's going on with the Stros? They dropped game 1, no big deal. Who was at the game? I saw some of my Facebook friends that were there having a
We're
good time.
actually there? Oh, I'm jealous.
Well, Cody, my friend Cody, was there with his dad.
I want to go. I
Who
want to go
else?
so bad. I want to see Bregman. That's like all.
Our friends that owned the van, TX, they were there. I'm trying to think who else was there. I don't know. There was a couple people on my stream, but I did enjoy seeing their photos and everything else.
Did you really?
Oh, Kayla with Communities and Schools, she was there.
Did you really enjoy seeing those photos?
Yeah, I did. It's tough. Here's the thing. Going to a game, I feel like I would get home too late and I would just be like upset the next day. I'm like, oh, it's like 12, like midnight. I should
Wow.
be. I know, but
you have officially become an old person.
I'm old.
You
I'm
are.
old. You know what? Because I took a shower in the 7th inning because I was like, then I'm like already ready straight to go to bed. That's real. I did that.
That's intense.
I did that. Yeah, I took a shower in the 7th and then I was ready to go.
I feel
to
like
bring it home.
you're too young to be this old.
I was trying to plan. I was trying to plan ahead so I could watch the end.
Okay.
Man, and my wife, she was like the 1, 2, 3, like the bottom of the ninth. Man, she's like, it's already over? Because she was like trying to put River in bed or something. And I was like, yeah, that was quick. But
they're going to win the next one.
yeah, they got it.
Right?
They're playing tonight. So go Astros. Go Astros.
Astros. We won't get to watch it, but
Well, we can see updates. Updates on your phone.
yeah, in between doing children's ministry. It's like, oh,
Y'all should put it up on the projectors or something.
they're doing that in the youth. They're watching the game.
That's not fair.
I know.
No, they should be in service. You know what? I'm going to tell Pastor Hallam. Shut this down at the root. That's not fair.
I know. It's like we're in the wrong departments.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Hey, let's go on the FM and we'll chat for a bit about, I guess, whatever. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Right now, it's 10:06 in the morning. I'm Gardy. I got my friend Crystal with me. What's up, Crystal? How you doing?
Hi, everybody. What's up?
So you just came over. You had a chapel service at Abundant Life Christian School. Did it go good?
It did. Those kids are so energetic and amazing. And we played a cup game where you have to stack the cups. It's like 5 on the bottom and then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. And it was hilarious because we had a teacher compete against the kids. And the teacher actually won. I was surprised.
That's impressive.
Yeah, the kids were losing it. They were just like, no, we got to beat the teacher.
Yeah. That's usually what happens. The kids will gang up on the teacher
Yeah.
and come out victorious, but I guess not.
They lost.
So we just had Mr. Dudas in with Tristan J. Pearson talking about the organization, but he's a teacher at Ball High. So he's been a teacher for 13 years. 6 years they've had KTOR, which is an online radio station. They have a TV department there.
Oh, nice.
So that's pretty cool. To have young people introduced to that kind of work, for me, it's just, I got introduced to radio and television pretty late. I guess I was already an adult, not whenever to have that experience as a kid would be really, really neat to see if you like it.
You got introduced to radio 2 years ago?
I did, yeah. So there's that.
And look at you now.
I know. Look at me, on Facebook, hanging out with my folks on the FM as well. Hey, good morning, Miss Carricker, watching on social media as well. Hopefully you're having a good day. Let me know what you got going on. Miss Jude. Y'all, never mind. Right. So it is 10:08. Crystal, we got a church service tonight. You've been doing children's ministry for how long now? And did you ever think that you'd be doing children's ministry?
I've been doing children's ministry for about 8 months now.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I never thought I'd be in children's ministry.
How has it changed? Even from day one of doing children's ministry to now, has your approach changed or has your heart changed?
Oh, everything's changed. My approach, my heart, all of it. When I first started, I was very shy. I'm still kind of shy, but the level of comfort I feel with those kids, because our children are amazing, and I don't know if it's all children or just Abundant Life children. But the children that we have are so loving and so encouraging, and I never feel when I get up to speak to them, I never feel like I have to oh, I've got to be the best or I've got to make sure I say everything right. They're so welcoming and encouraging, and they laugh, and they don't laugh at me, they laugh with me. And well, sometimes they laugh at me. I had one of the kids the other day. I was talking about, there were 2 kids that were matching because they were twins. And I was like, if I ever have kids, I'm not going to make them match. And then she looked at me and said, Crystal, are you ever going to have kids? I don't think you are. And I was just like,
what did you say?
Wow. It's you hurt my heart.
Yeah. That's funny. And kids will just say what's on their mind.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes the filter's not there yet.
Yeah, no. I had one kid, he was jumping on a beanbag, and I told him not to. And then he looks at me and he's like, God doesn't like you or your tattoos. And I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah. Wow.
No, they're funny. They say all kinds of funny things.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, one of the kids wanted to touch the other one's eyeball. I'm just like, no, we're not doing that. We're not touching each other's eyeballs. And then they look at me and they're like, you are very not silly right now, and I don't like it.
Just saying what's on the heart, I guess. And maybe, is there some truth to that?
I think.
Does God I don't know.
I
He
don't
wants
know.
us to be silly sometimes, or just not take
Yeah.
things so seriously.
I think there's a certain sense of freedom that children have that we don't necessarily carry into our adult life, and I think we might be better off if we kind of did loosen up a little bit and get a little more silly. I don't think we should be touching people's eyeballs, but
Yeah, germs,
yeah,
infection,
infection,
bacteria.
hurting people, all
Yeah.
that. But I do think that their uninhibitedness to just be themselves,
Yeah.
like they don't care. They're just, I'm just gonna go over here and dance and do whatever I want, and that's just who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be more like that. So
sure.
the more I'm around them, the more I try to be like them, I guess.
Yeah. You mentioned going into children's ministry in the beginning. You said I was kind of shy, and that helped open it up. I will say you were kind of shy, but kind of not. And I don't know if you know what I mean, because
Yeah.
I feel we've had a conversation before, and you're like, well, I'll just say what I think,
Yeah.
and sometimes people like it, sometimes people don't. It's like,
Yeah. I'm a very straightforward person. I don't have a filter. Sometimes that's not a good thing. In my professional life, I have learned to have more of a filter than I used to. But I'm the type of person that if it goes through my head, it's probably going to come out of my mouth. Or if it doesn't come out of my mouth, it's written on my face. And I'm getting better at that.
did you get that from one of your parents? Is your dad that way?
My dad's not that way.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No, my dad is like cool, calm, collected. Like you can't read him at all. Like he's the most professional, diplomatic person on the face of the planet until we get home, and then he says what he really thinks.
Yeah.
I'm not like that. My mother is a firecracker. She is kind of a loose cannon, like just goes off. So I think I'm a happy medium between the two of them.
Yeah.
So
If you could lean one way or the other, which one would it be? The firecracker or the calm, cool diplomat?
I aspire to be like my dad in every way. I'm not even relatively close to it, unfortunately, but I hope that by the end of my life, I can become half the person that he is. He raised me, and everything about him is, I idolize him so much. I just want to be like him.
Yeah.
So.
Do you get to tell him that often?
Not as often as I should.
Yeah.
I feel like that's all of us. I feel like we have so many people in our lives that have impacted us or just really made that difference. And sometimes I think we forget that, or we take them for granted and we forget to let them know how much we love them.
Yeah.
So, Dad, I don't think you're listening, but I might tell you to go back and listen to this because I love you and you're my favorite person in the entire world.
At 10:13 a.m. That's the time mark, Mr. Narvez. Sometimes when you say people's names and you're streaming on social media, they just pop up.
That's true.
So maybe he will, maybe not. Maybe not. Even though he's not taking you to the Astros game.
Yeah, okay. I take that back. You're not my favorite person. You would be if you took me.
Man, no, the experience, I would say it's once in a lifetime, but they were just there 2017, and there were some people that I know who went to that one, and they're going back, but you never know. I was trying to explain that to Kellen, my son, he's 7 years old, and the importance of this. I said, hey, when I was a kid, the Rockets won, back-to-back champions. I was like 8 or 9 years old or so, and they haven't won a championship since, but I remember that, and it kind of set me on my path to become the fan that I am today. So I was trying to just let him know the importance.
They went to the World Series back.
05.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I actually went to one of those
You
games.
did? How was that?
Okay, so
How old were you?
I was young. I was 11, maybe?
Okay.
Wait, how old I don't know.
Yeah.
11 or 12, somewhere around there. Because I'm not sure how old I am right now. But anyway, that's not the point. Let's not focus on age. But no, I went to the game, and it was pretty funny because I was too young. I didn't understand baseball. Honestly, I still don't necessarily understand it as much as my brother wants me to.
Mhm.
Like, he's constantly annoyed with me. I was like, I understand baseball so much. He's like, no, you don't. It's like, tell me this, blah, blah, blah. What are the stats for this? I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, maybe I don't. But I didn't understand it at all when I went to the game. And my dad, I went with one of my friends. She had got tickets, and she invited me.
Dang.
And so my dad was super jealous.
I was going to say, it wasn't even with your
Yeah, it wasn't even with
it's
my
with a
family.
friend.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It was a friend. And then my entire family's like, you don't like baseball. You don't understand baseball. Why do you get this opportunity?
Yeah.
It's wasted on you.
Oh,
So,
man.
yeah.
Wow. Well,
Good times.
Yeah, at least you got to go to that one. Maybe they're holding that over your head and being like, that's why you don't go to this one.
Yeah, you can't go to this one. You wasted the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
So, yeah, Astros playing tonight, and I think that they have to win. You need to win the games.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just be going down 0-2, but, they're going to do great, and I'm calling it right now. There's going to be a
win.
win.
Who are they playing tonight?
It's the Nationals.
Oh, again?
Yeah, it's the best. See, I can see where your brother's frustration is. No, it's a 7-game series, so they have to play them, and the first team to win 4. They play them, and it was crazy that they play these back-to-back games.
Yeah.
Back-to-back.
That's so frustrating to me, though, that we lost the first game, but we're gonna win the second one. We have to.
You have to.
Like I'm holding out so much hope. Somebody on my Facebook feed, Mattress Mac, right? And
Well, not personally. I'd like to.
Yeah, but you know how he does that thing where, like, if the Astros win, you get free furniture.
Win it all, you get it all.
Yeah.
Did they do that?
They did. They posted on there. They're like, it might be a bit early, but I'm going furniture shopping. So now after the last game, I'm a little worried for them.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are. They're like, man, I got like $3,000 in mattresses riding on this. I need the Astros to win. I need them to win.
Are you gonna go shopping?
No, I'm not. I don't. Yeah.
You don't need
My
a new
mattress
couch?
is fine. The couch is fine. Yeah, currently good. But I thought about it. I was like, man, I should have did that. And but no, I'm not.
Oh, you're boring.
Yeah, I'm the guy that showers in the 7th to be in bed like right after the 9th.
Grandpa Gardy.
That's me. That is me. Right now it's 10:16. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. Yeah, I figured it was smart just to do that. Shower in the 7th, in bed by the 9th. I mean, I couldn't go to sleep because, you get amped up. You get really invested into the game or to everything else, and it's just like...
But how do you just stop in the middle of the game and go take a shower?
Because it's a commercial break, and I'm trying to be quick. And plus, there's the 7th inning stretch.
That's true.
Yeah, and I'm not that quick, but still, here's the thing.
Yeah, but that's a long stretch.
Well, it is, but I put it on my phone. And I have it in there, and so I'm trying to get ready, and then as I'm out and whatever, brush my teeth and everything, I can still listen, and I have it there, and so then I'm running out, and then I'm done.
My dad used to have back at our old house.
Shower radio?
No, he had a TV in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
So you could take a shower and watch the game at the same
TV
time.
on.
Yeah.
I don't know if people do that anymore, but that used to be a thing.
Yeah.
All the time.
I don't know. I haven't seen anybody do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, the bathroom wired for cable.
Yeah.
I used to be, as I was a AT&T technician, you would see that. And then whenever their coax would go bad, trying to run a new line to it is impossible because there's tile and all kinds of random, it's a crazy spot. So unless it's pre-wired before, trying to run a TV to the bathroom is no fun.
See, these are the things I would never think about.
Mm-hmm.
You open my eyes to a new perspective because I'm sitting here just thinking, hey, TV and shower. This is great.
Yeah, imagine if it goes bad. Yeah, it's not. Oh, and then the NBA started up last night. I don't know.
I don't know anything about basketball.
Rockets play home on Thursday. That's tomorrow.
That's exciting.
Yeah, they play the Milwaukee Bucks. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping for a good season. Always a championship is the goal for every team, but only one team wins. Only one team wins. I saw that Drake, the rapper, on his social media posted, because the Toronto Raptors won the championship last year. They do a ring ceremony, at the first game, everybody gets your rings. And then I almost posted as a joke to social media on one of the videos I saw. I wonder if Drake gets a ring. And then as I was streaming or flipping my Instagram, I saw Drake had 2 rings. Why does Drake get a ring? Come on.
The perks of being famous, I guess.
Yeah. He's an ambassador, a team ambassador for the Toronto Raptors. He's from Toronto, but he sits courtside and just goes claps.
I told my siblings the other day that he's from Canada, and they didn't believe me.
Yeah, he is.
And they looked it up, and then they were like, his name is Aubrey.
That's true. Yeah, Aubrey goes by Drake.
I don't blame him.
Yeah. So, hey, what's up, Luis? What's up, Reggie? What are you folks up to today? We're talking a little bit about sports. NBA started last night. The Rockets play tomorrow. The Lakers played last night. They lost to the Clippers. But every highlight that I saw was like LeBron. It's like, y'all highlight. And I understand he's like the face of the NBA, but if you're gonna highlight the losing team, at least throw some highlights in for the winning team.
That's true.
Everything I saw was like highlights for the Lakers.
Who do you
They
think
lost.
is better, LeBron or Michael Jordan?
That's a great question. It depends.
It's a controversial question.
It's a very controversial question. And you know what? We had an NBA player in yesterday. We had Brandon Johnson in who had well, you were in here for that, weren't
Yeah.
you? That was a crazy story.
Oh, that was intense.
Yeah. I would like to learn more about that.
Yeah.
And I didn't. So after we went off the air, I was talking to him for a little bit, and I was like, there was these other questions that I wanted to ask, but without like prefacing it before, I didn't want to feel like I was putting him on the spot for anything.
Right.
Right. And so he was like, no, I don't care. You could ask whatever. I was like, oh, well, now I know. You know, I said,
Well,
we'll have to chat some more.
He was really great. Like, I feel like that interview could have gone like a whole nother hour and I still would have been entertained.
It could have. And I was wondering, I was like, I wonder if Crystal, and I feel like you're a good measuring stick. I was like, I wonder if Crystal's as entertained as I am, or if it's just me because I'm a fan of basketball and this story's
Right.
nuts.
It's like, I don't even like basketball and I was entertained.
Yeah, okay, good.
So.
Okay, good. So, yeah, we'll definitely have to bring him back. And then Gloria Green, they left a charger here, and Gloria was with him and kind of made that connection. So she messaged this morning, was like, hey, I got the charger. So I saw her this morning, and I was like, hey, if he wants to come back, I think it would be fun, even if we don't air it, because he was talking about, I don't know if you know who Stephen A. Smith is, do you?
No.
So he's with ESPN, but he is a guy who just argues. There's two guys, like if me and you were arguing sports, like, I think LeBron's the greatest. You're like, Michael Jordan. LeBron. And that's what they do. I said it'd be fun. I'd even do like if he wanted to use it for a reel, like, because he has, I mean, being an NBA player, having his story, playing overseas and, the college stuff that happened,
Right.
he has a shot. If he has a shot to be on like ESPN, to be a commentator, to, he knows the game and he's good at talking. So,
The thing I appreciated the most about him was that even though he had that difficult past and had made those mistakes, he's very adamant about helping the next generation to avoid making those mistakes.
mm-hmm.
And I think those are the best kind of people that are like, hey, look, it happened, I did it, and I'm going to help you avoid it.
Yeah.
And you could tell just when he was talking that he's passionate. And it's like he wants what's best for college athletes or
Yeah.
the younger generation that's coming up.
In the hypothetical situation, which is probably reality, he was like, so you're at a club, you're young, you're 20 years old or 21, you're an athlete. Somebody comes and talks to you, you say the wrong thing. Hey, we got you.
Right.
You were given information that you didn't even know. Like, wow.
And I bet they don't even think about that.
No.
It's like they're young, they're vulnerable, they're naive.
It's like Samson and Delilah.
Yeah.
Like, you think about that.
I don't know about that, but
But you know what I'm saying? Like, she straight up was like, hey, how did we kill you? And he's like, I can't tell you
can't
that.
tell you.
And he knew why. And she's like, well, you don't love me. That was almost that's what I was reminded of with that.
Yeah.
But even if you don't know, if Samson was really, that dumb or dense or he didn't know what was going on, he was just like, okay, I don't know, like, yeah, just cut my hair, braid it or whatever, you just don't think about it. And there's a lot of things going on. You're trying to focus on having a good time, being young, being dumb. I can imagine, when I was young, I was pretty dumb. It's pretty
Me
stupid.
too.
Yeah.
And college is a great time where everybody is dumb.
And they say you're supposed to be dumb.
Right.
Make mistakes.
It's almost encouraged. It's like, go out there and be stupid. You're in your 20s. Who cares?
Yeah. And that was cool that you could share your Duke experience with him, speaking at those top 25 college athletes and, Zion and all the other guys are there. But Zion got injured. So he's not starting the season. They played the Raptors last night. But yeah, Zion, I think he had to have some kind of procedure. But he already got pick deal.
Yep.
Money's in the
already
bank.
Signed. He's good.
Yeah, you're good to go. But if you get injured in college like he did,
Yeah.
that can derail everything. You drop off the board. But I think trying to pay some of those athletes might be a good thing.
I think so too.
Maybe not.
When he got injured, we were all like, "Oh, Nike's going down. He needs to sue."
Oh,
If-
whenever
if-
his shoe ripped?
Yeah, when
in
his shoe
college,
ripped.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody at Duke was just like ready to boycott Nike.
Yeah. Well, he signed with Jordan, which is Nike. But still, that was nuts.
That was crazy.
How that happened. He came out of his shoe.
I know.
Crazy. Well, if you didn't have a chance to go watch that interview with Brandon Johnson, you can check that out. That was yesterday. We had Dr. Chapa in, and then Brandon Johnson, who is a former NBA player. He played at San Diego in college. He got injured, and then I guess there was a tape that was recorded and played back to him. He got a case with the FBI and served some time, got out, and right now he's trying to spread awareness on those situations and talking to young people, upcoming athletes, and just anybody about the importance and what you may not even realize is illegal, especially with gambling, getting more prevalent.
Right.
Yeah, and you can bet on all that. You can bet on anything.
You can bet on anything.
You see that.
And how many times do you do that just with your friends? It's like, oh, $50 says this is going to happen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, nobody thinks about it. You don't think like, oh, gambling on some sports, I'm going to end up in prison.
Right. Yes. And then if you're a player or you're betting on another game, like it's weird stuff because that's what he had mentioned this yesterday. Michael Jordan, there's all kinds of rumors and stuff, but he was apparently into stuff like that. And there was rumors that he had to retire because the commissioner at the time, David Stern, said like you have to serve a 2-year suspension. So he went and played baseball instead. But I think that's all not
that
true.
Sounds kind of fishy.
It's very conspiracy theory. So I don't know. Hey, we have some cool stuff coming up with church. I know we have Hallelujah Harvest, which is a fall harvest festival.
Yeah.
When is that?
Hallelujah Harvest is October 31st from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And
Yeah.
We'll be having bounce houses, costume contests, lots of candy, food trucks, a petting zoo, a foam party.
Yeah, Pastor Catherine says she's pretty excited about that. Are you?
Oh, yeah, no, that's where I'm going to be. You won't find me. I'm going to be like hidden
Hiding
in the foam. Yeah.
Laying down in the bottom of the foam. So that's 6 to 9. And October 31st is on a Thursday. The 31st. So it's a week from tomorrow.
And if you'd like to donate candy for that, we are accepting candy donations. So drop it off at Abundant Life Christian Center, 601 Delaney Road, Lamarck, Texas.
How much candy do we need? Like a ton, right?
A lot. Okay, so they basically said that, I don't know, it came out to like, the amount that we're guesstimating that we need is 30,000 pieces.
30,000 pieces of candy.
30,000 pieces.
Do we know how many people came last year? I mean, it has to be like 1,000 or something ridiculous like that.
Yikes.
Not sure.
I'm not sure. We're guesstimating for like 500 kids
Gotcha.
at this point.
So we need 60,000. I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
But think about it. If there's 500 kids, there's parents there. If both parents are there,
Right.
grandma's there, like you're mine. It's like, oh my, both grandpas are there. There's going to be well over, 1,000 something people on campus. Hopefully 500 kids. And if you want to donate candy, or you want to come out and bring your kids. Last year we had some rainy weather, so we had to readjust some stuff.
But
this
it's not
year
going to rain this year.
we're praying for good weather. So
it's
the
not
foam
going
party.
to. I will not allow it.
We just get a giant tarp. You're like, oh, it's not gonna rain. Like just
No,
over everything.
I have a personal connection to Jesus Christ. It is not going to rain.
There you go. You heard it here first. The weather's gonna be beautiful. I'm emceeing the event.
That's
kind
exciting.
of. Like not the event. I guess like this. There's like a stage. Yeah.
Where is your stage going to be set up?
I don't know.
You don't know?
There's a staff meeting tomorrow, and maybe I'll have a map. I was supposed to take photos at 11 for camp meeting.
Oh, that's exciting.
Well, I'm not because there's a staff meeting at 11:30. Because I'm out of here at 11, so I guess we got to like cancel, and try and rearrange that. I guess,
Well,
unless you have any other
it
suggestions.
gives you more time to work on your smile and your poses.
That's true. Yeah, we'll have to see what's going on with that. But so November, so we have the 31st that's going on, and then in November we have our Unshakable conference. I think the 3rd through the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Why should people come?
People should come because we've got an all-star lineup. We've got Nathan Morris, Jesse Duplantis, Samuel Rodriguez, and Ron Carpenter. And all of them are like internationally known, like really big, really just powerful men of God. So if you want to have an amazing time that re-energizes your faith and gets you pumped and ready to live your best life, then come on out.
Hey, listen to this. So I recorded a spot with Pastor Ram yesterday in Spanish, promoting the Unshakable conference to go to Spanish radio.
You spoke in Spanish?
No, yeah, maybe it was me. I engineered. I was the audio engineer for Pastor Ram as he spoke in Spanish, and so I recorded it. And whenever you do these tracks, a lot of times, there's a time constriction on it. So this one's 30 to 40 seconds. So we recorded, like 7, And it's like, okay, I can do better. And the thing that I struggle with is I'm not fluent in Spanish, so I don't know what he's saying. For the most part, I can say like, oh, noviembre,
Right.
tres, whatever. Yeah, and then, the names randomly, they come in English. So I cut this down, and to try and make it, I have to take out some of the breaths between the words, like, hola, mi amo, like hola, I'd be like, hola, mi amo. So like to get it in there. I'm going to go ahead and play it so everybody can hear it. And then I'm gonna voice not some maybe some concerns I have.
Dios te bendiga, te saluda el pastor Ramiro de Vida Abundante. Quiero decirte que Dios te ha dado una fe inquebrantable. Ven con nosotros este noviembre 3 al 6. Tenemos el campamento llamado Inquebrantable. Tendremos oradores de la palabra poderosos. En especial estamos invitándote el lunes 4 de noviembre a las 7 de la noche. Tendremos el reverendo Samuel Rodríguez visitándonos y trayéndonos la palabra del Señor. Nos gustaría que vengas. Para más información visita alcc.org o llámanos al número 409-935-1606. Una vida inquebrantable te espera.
So I saw Luis put a mad react up, and I hope that's a good thing, or it was an accident. So here's my concern. We send this to Spanish radio. They come to our conference expecting it to be in Spanish. It's not in Spanish. It's in English.
But I feel like the speakers that we have are so prominent that they would know that it's not a Spanish conference.
What if they don't know? Because the one thing that was iterated was Sammy Rodriguez, which he is Hispanic, and he does speak in Spanish, but he's not, as far as I know, unless I'm mistaken, I don't think he's preaching in Spanish, or it's not like a bilingual necessarily.
No.
So that's the only concern. And I asked that to Pastor Ram, and he was like, I thought that too. We may need to bring that up to Pastor Catherine, but we asked this. So I was like, okay, yeah, we'll knock it out. And so we'll do it. But hopefully they come and they are familiar, or they'll go to the website, learn more, and understand.
Yeah, I feel like I said, I feel like those speakers are prominent enough that they would know that majority of them are not Spanish speaking.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't come to a conference that I haven't researched. So I feel like anyone who's going to come will look into it.
Well, here's the other thing. So Gustavo Paez was here, and we played a spot. We played a spot to that same Spanish radio station, and they came. So it's like, oh, that same church is doing something else with Samuel Rodriguez, whatever. And they come, and then they are like, oh, man. And then they think next time whenever we put another spot for whatever, just a thought process. But I believe in blasting out information as many ways as possible. That's why we do what we do. But
that's true. Well, and okay, so I did a lot of missionary work when I was an undergrad. And
Yeah.
This is just a thought. It's not something that we probably would be able to move forward with anytime soon. But when I was in Thailand, the speaker at the church would speak in Thai, but anyone who didn't speak in Thai would get this little machine, and it was like just a headphone thing.
Mm-hmm.
And someone would be in the back translating into English, and that would be what you hear instead of. And so little translation machine, things like that. That's a cool idea.
That's a great idea. So we used to use those years ago. Like when I first came to this church in 1997, the translation booth is upstairs, right up there. And there used to be somebody sitting there, and you had headphones and a little thing, and you'd put it on, and they translate the service. That was before we had a Spanish service, and now we do. So
Right.
I think that they were like, oh, they have a specific Spanish-speaking service. They don't have to use those things anymore. And with Pastor Ram, we talked about that a little bit, and I think that they said a lot of that equipment, well, it's old. And then the other thing, some of those things would end up walking off, like the radio transmitter, which I don't know. Yeah. Oh, Luis said, Crystal, with all the info, she's like an information booth on top of her game. That's fair.
Thanks. I try.
Yeah. So if y'all have any ideas for us to get a translator in, we can bring Luis. Maybe just have Like if you're speaking in Spanish, we're gonna have Luis sit next to you and just like tell you what the
He's just gonna
translations
talk to
are.
you the entire service.
Yeah. Or we just bring in Gustavo Paez's guy and have him sit in the booth.
Ricardo.
Like, yeah, he has nothing else to do. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Pastor Helms and a couple people, they're going to Colombia tomorrow.
Oh, that's so exciting.
That's nuts. And then they're going through Sunday. So Sergio's going.
That's cool.
Sergio's going. Colombo's going. And I believe there's some other people going. But yeah, I would like to go one day. But I don't, my passport, it's expired.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I need to get one renewed, but it's an issue whenever it's expired, or if you don't know where it is, and mine's both.
Oh wow, you don't know where it's at?
No, well when I lived in Nashville, I had one and it was current, and then I think when I moved back, I don't know where it went.
That's kind of like a really important document to not lose.
I'm finding that out now, because or you just have to I'm not gonna get into details. Oh, I got to go and handle my speeding ticket today in the city of Texas City. I've been handling it for over a week.
You think you're gonna get off?
No, and you know what? And did you see my picture I put up?
I did.
I did, and so I did post that, and I did ask like, hey, can we just pretend like this never happened? What do I got to do? I love the city of Texas City, and I'll say whatever you want me to say. I'll say whatever. You know, what can we do to make this go away? And they were like, they didn't think I was funny, and I wasn't trying to be funny. I'm like, I'm for real. I said, but I didn't have a piece of paper that they required because I'm trying to take defensive driving.
That's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, it's easy.
If you pay me $30, I'll do it for you.
I think you could say that. Okay, that's a better deal than the last. Anyways, okay, I like that. So I'm trying to take defensive driving. That's all I want to do. And they're like, well, you need to have this. And I'm like, okay, cool. I said, you sure you can't pretend like this, guys? I'll be back next week, and I'm gonna come and take care of this. So I posted a picture on the way out, just being dumb, being funny, and I did ask, like, can't we just? I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna ask again whenever I go. So I went there yesterday, and kind of did the same thing, and they were like, this isn't good enough, like the paper, but they were, and I understand they're busy, and they probably deal with a lot of people.
Well, here's the thing. I have a hard time feeling bad for you because you got pulled over like 3 different times before you got this ticket.
2.
Okay.
That was the 3rd time.
Yeah. 3rd time's the charm, right?
Well, the first time was for going fast, but it was in Dickinson, and there's like that, you know where Ziegler's is, and I know Luis does. You know where Ziegler's is 517?
Yeah.
So there's a spot where the speed limit, and so this is what we were trying to do. We were trying to find partners to partner with United Way and us for the Taco Cook-Off. And so I went up and down.
So you're speeding for a good cause.
I was, and I didn't even use that. But that's kind of like what I'm going to use the term speed trap. I think it's a little bit of a speed trap because it's like, oh, it's, 45, and then it drops down to like 30.
Yeah. And
you don't think about it. And so I'm like, oh, we went this way. We were filming something at a taco truck. So I was up and down the road. I get pulled over, and he was like, hey, you're going, he said, is there a reason you're going quick? I said, and I thought about saying something like, well, I'm just trying to get partners for the United Way. And, I'm sorry, officer. I was like, no, I'm sorry. I was just in a hurry, apologize. So I handed him my stuff. And he let me go with a warning, and I think he let me go with a warning because his little device wasn't working. He's like, I can't get this to print off, but you just have a warning. I was like, okay, thank you, sir. And then I'm like, stop, 10 and 2, like sitting up straight, seatbelt on.
And that was Jesus telling you that you needed to slow down.
Yeah, but
and then you got pulled over a second time.
I got pulled over after that, but that was for a license plate issue, and I'm not gonna say it, but yeah, it was a license plate issue. He said, hey, you need your license plate, whatever. I said, okay, yes, sir. And I need to take care of that still. And then I got pulled over. I was at a meeting in Texas City trying to spread positivity, let everybody know how amazing the city is and our law enforcement officers are. And then I had a meeting in KHEA, and I was on the way to that meeting. And I think I was going 70 and a 55. So as you're on the north side of the loop and you go on to heading north right there was a guy like hiding out, and I pulled over like immediately. I was like, oh, there's a cop.
Not even gonna try.
Just hit my hazards on, and I was looking at what the speed limit was, but I think it's like 65 and it drops down to like 55 or something like that, or there's nothing out there. People go, yeah, anyways. So I pulled over as soon as I can, hazards on, I get my stuff out. I was like, yep, you got me. Thank you. I was like, but he had me in and out, like the ticket was already written before, like, I even rolled my window down.
Yeah, because you had 2 different warnings, and Jesus was just like, all right, no more warnings.
Yeah.
It's ticket time.
Well, I talked to some people about it, and they were like city officials, and they were like, yeah, he got me too. And then like
In the same spot?
maybe same officer
Same
doing his
officer.
job. He's doing his job. That's what he's supposed to do. And then he got the commissioner, like the
Oh, wow.
yeah. So he's just
High
like
profile.
doesn't care. He does not care. Like he's just like maybe he cares too much. But yeah, I talked to several people and officers, not trying to get out of anything, just trying to figure out what's going on. Talked to some officers, some city officials, some emergency management folks.
Man, you really want to get out of this ticket.
I talked to the clerks. No, I want to take defensive driving. They will not let me take defensive driving. And here's the funny thing: my court date is tomorrow at 9 a.m. and I'm bringing in someone with the city of Texas City to promote Touch a Truck, which is this weekend on 6th Street. And I was like, so if we do this from like the courtroom, or maybe we may have to do this from jail. If
That's exciting.
And I said that, I was like, that would be probably our most viewed show ever. It's
It
like,
would be.
I went to court, I'm in jail, but we're still doing our show, spreading positivity. Come to Touch a Truck. I'm coming to you live from the jail in Texas City. Woo! You know, like think about that. That would probably be like some crazy numbers.
Please do. Please do this.
But my friend, or I'll say Darcy. I had Darcy's with the city, and she's coming in tomorrow, so y'all had figured out anyway. She was like, well, if you need to reschedule due to your court date, like I understand. I was like, no, it's okay. I'm if they won't let me take defensive driving, obviously I'll just pay the ticket, but I'm not planning on missing the show tomorrow. But I'm going to go back there today.
I bet people would watch your court case.
Who do I have coming in at 9? I kind of want to go to court, and I'm going to be like,
Let's live
Your
stream
Honor, Your Honor, I just want to take defensive driving. Like, I don't understand what the issue
Your
is.
Honor, smile for the camera right over there. We're live on Facebook.
Oh, man. Oh, it's going to be a good show tomorrow. So I got Dan with Tots and Teens Pediatric Dentistry coming in. They were at our Taco Taco Cook-Off. And then I have Darcy with the City of Texas City coming in.
How did your cook-off go?
It was awesome. So
Were there tacos, like, for everybody?
there was tacos everywhere. I ate about, like, 10 tacos. No joke.
Were you a judge?
I was not.
You still ate 10 tacos?
I was just a person. Yeah, everywhere I turned, there was like, I was getting handed a taco, and I'm like, thanks. It was a great time. Texas Pit Stop Barbecue, their team cleaned up. So we gave away $1,000 in cash, and they won $850 of it.
Wow.
And then the city of Dickinson had a cook-off team, and they won first place in chicken. So that's the only spot, the chicken tacos, that Pit Stop didn't win. They won like second.
What was the chef's choice?
So Pit Stop won Chef's Choice.
Yeah, but what did they make?
Just a normal taco, just a different
regular one.
Some people, like, I think the city of, was it Dickinson, they used a chicken as a shell. So they had a chicken shell, and then on the inside, they just put, like, random stuff.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. It was.
I feel like Taco Bell used to do something like that. It was like the naked chicken taco or something.
Yeah.
I loved those.
And I was talking at Bayou Fest to some of the Lamarck EMS and firefighters. They were judges for the Chef's Choice. And I asked them, I said, how was that? How was it? That's funny. I'm Luis. That's funny. I'm going to talk about that. They were like, there was some interesting choices. And I was like what? And they said, like, a chicken shell taco? And I said, well, what was the best one? They were like, there was one that was just like a normal taco, and that was it. So that would have been the Pit Stop one that they picked. Luis suggested that I sit it out, like sit my ticket out, like just go to jail.
Just go to
sit it
jail.
out, like, I ain't paying this ticket. I'm going to sit in this jail cell and just spread positivity from here.
You know what? I will call into work tomorrow morning and carry a camera for this.
Because you're usually not in on Thursdays. Man, that'd be fun. If I would have thought about this, and if I really was, I'm looking forward to the show tomorrow because I want the Tots and Teens Pediatric Dentistry to come in. Maybe I can move them to Friday because I do need a guest Friday. And then Darcy, like if we just did a live stream from the
courthouse,
from the jail, because the emergency management crews there, that's Tom and Dio, and we actually are working on a video. Like I go to that building a lot because we have meetings there. Like, oh, the police are there, the emergency management there. But yeah, I haven't had the opportunity to talk to some of the judges and the lovely staff at the clerk office.
Plenty tomorrow.
Municipal court. Well, I'm going up there today, and I'm begging again. Let me take defensive driving. So, anyways, pray for me. Pray for Crystal. We'll be praying for you. We're gonna end the show today. Y'all be blessed.
Bye, guys.